Hey everyone, if you guys like the content, go and subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, and give the video a like or share. All right, you guys, welcome to the listening room. My name is Eddie Booz. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. As always, with me is my co-host, Miss Daisy, back here behind me. I always turn the wrong shoulder. Just hanging out, laying down. And my guest today, the always awesome Mr. BJ Engel. How you doing, Mr. BJ?
Hey, Eddie, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me back.
Always good to have you back, my brother. Always good to have you on. Always look forward to my Mondays with you, man, and hanging out and chatting and being able to just kind of relax with you and, talk.
I know, we have tons of fun, right?
Every time. I always enjoy it. So, all right, Mr. Beej. Okay, so check this out. So I always like to start my day off with a little bit of gratitude. So let me go ahead and get into it. Today, I am so happy and grateful for my sobriety. I'm a little over 11 years sober, and I'm so happy and grateful that I made the choice to be that way. My alcoholism was way off the deep end, and I ended up going to detox 11 years ago, and I'm sober now. And yeah, I'm happy and grateful for for the sobriety that I have and the clear mind that it affords me, and the fact that it allows me to drive anywhere whenever I want and live a more free life. So
Awesome.
with that being said, Mr. Beej, what are you grateful for today, brother?
You know, I had something planned all week that I was going to say today, but you just made me change my mind with your daily gratitude. I am also grateful for my sobriety. This year, September, is going to be my 10th year without drinking alcohol. And it's the best decision I could ever make. Like I said, or like you said, you don't have to worry about stuff. I mean, I haven't broken a pair of sunglasses or lost my cell phone in like 10 years. So it's a good thing. I feel better than I ever have. And, I'm not looking back.
That's awesome, brother. I love it, dude. And not to knock drinking, I miss it. I just drank too much, and I wasn't checking myself, you know what I mean? So, maybe someday I will drink again, who knows, but right now it's not the best thing for me. So, I currently am not, am not drinking right now, but yeah, I'm glad to hear that from you, Beej, and as I always like to say, it's good to stay active in your mental and emotional health, and circumstances of life are always going to hit you, and you're not always going to have good days. Just because I talk about this stuff doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. This is all stuff that I'm working on. This is all I'm on the path. I haven't arrived anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just barely scratched the surface of understanding how the power of gratitude and, consciously being in, a positive place, So, everybody goes through bad times, you know what I'm saying, my brother? And they're all affected by that, just because that's happening doesn't mean that we're not trying. Doesn't mean we're not, making an effort every day to move forward, So those of you out there who's, got it, who, have it, hard right now, just remember that, we all understand that. So anyway, love you guys.
You got to learn from those hard times too, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and most do. Sometimes sometimes you don't, and you repeat the lesson, and But what I was saying before is you guys got to stay active in your mental and emotional health. For myself, I find that focusing on the things that I'm grateful for and acknowledging and celebrating those things on a daily basis is key in staying active in my mental and emotional health and actually being a part of my own rescue. So yeah. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead today and get into the song. So we're going to go ahead and play a song from Running Rogue today called Natural Order. A Running Rogue is myself, Nick Lee, who was a guest last week, Kevin Kablau, and Rob Wheeler. You've also seen Rob on the show. He was a guest with Rob Carmala last Friday, or the Friday before last. So let's go ahead and take a listen real quick to Natural Order.
Choice he made it free from these heavy chains, the desperate weight of apathy. 4 months late, but much more than a share. I lightly through the night on a bridge to nowhere. Save the life anymore. Reignite with a spark. Twice his best to speak, ties his tongue indeed. Broken words, lies, then empty apologies. Lost gaze and ride, and to the ground you're on. Upon defeat he whispered, says he's just a fucking pawn. Words are lost, feeling weak, like a ship brewing over me. A cautious way to face this world of apathy. Started off losing me, gained a voice inside that house he lives secondly. Save the life anymore. Reignite with a spark. Save the life anymore. Reignite with a spark. Save the life anymore. Reignite.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that one actually well, that one I sing in a far lower key. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit different for me when we recorded that one. With the tries his best to speak, ties his tongue indeed. You know what I mean? With that like lower register. Usually I'm like way higher. With the in the chorus I kind of raise it up there. With the save the life.
You did a killer job on the
anymore.
harmonies for that track too.
Oh, thanks, my brother. I appreciate that, dude.
Did you play that guitar solo? That was Ripper
dude,
also.
That guitar solo is killer, bro. That was Nick Lee. He's a ripper, bro. He's what you'd call a criddler or a shredder.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Right?
Total shredder.
Yeah, he kills it, dude. That's awesome, man. Well, let's check in with Miss Daisy and see what she thought about that one. Yep, she loved it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Super excited. It's always good to have my beautiful co-host Miss Daisy just hanging out and doing the damn thing. So okay,
Who doesn't like Miss Daisy?
right, exactly. So those of you who heard the song, if you guys have any questions out there, if you guys have any comments or whatever, just go ahead and throw them at me. And while we're doing that, I wanted to actually talk to you, BJ, about some stuff that you previously worked with. So BJ, when he was younger, his stepfather actually worked in film and television, and BJ was on the set of quite a few films and TV shows when he was younger, including Sliders and Highlander the series.
Yep.
And what else were you on, Beej?
Outer Limits is another popular one.
Outer Limits, nice, nice. And what exactly did your stepdad do, and what did you do when you were on these sets with him?
Oh, he was the special effects guy, and he was in charge of, things like pyro and gunshots and blowing stuff up and lighting things on fire. And so that was super exciting for a kid. I got to go out to Vancouver for all the holidays from school. I was born and raised in Edmonton, so I lived out there most of the year. But when I was off school, I got to go to Vancouver and do all this fun stuff. And my friends never used to believe me when I would tell them when I came home what I got to do that summer.
Dude, that's super cool, dude. That's so badass.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We had a blast. But some of the things I got to do when I got to go help was, I got to man the effects truck and organize things, and I got to run the fog machine, which was pretty fun, and I got to go attack the craft services table and eat all the cinnamon buns and junk food I wanted.
That's always one of the best parts about being on a set is craft services.
Oh man, it was totally my favorite.
So, okay, so what was it like working on Highlander? Because for me, there will only be one, and that one is Christopher Lambert. And so, what was it like working with Adrian Paul as the
Adrian Paul all the
Highlander?
way. Come on.
I'm just kidding. I liked Adrian Paul too, man. If he ever sees this, which I doubt he will, but if he ever sees this, I loved Adrian Paul too. But there can really be only one, so
Yeah. I think there should be a battle. We should organize a battle.
Right, exactly.
Highlander
Who's the best
versus Highlander.
Right. Well, Ray said that when he said when that was on the air, I think he's talking about Sliders, or was it Highlander? Ray, he said the lead character was up banging on the glass. He said he was at a Kings game, and he said he was banging on the glass. He said he turned and looked next to him, and he said it was the main character. So, but I'm not sure if he's talking about Adrian Paul or if he's talking about like Jerry O'Connell from Sliders.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Dan Jacobs, man. You know what? Shoot me an email or a message on Instagram, and I'll go ahead and send you the link. I'll go ahead and just toss you the link to BOOZE like the drink. Some jerkbag says that's why Endgame was okay, both of the Highlanders, despite the poor ending, because you got Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert. Oh, you had Adrian Paul. No, that's right. He was in that, wasn't he? It was both.
Was it?
I think he was. I think it was Adrian Paul and Christopher Lambert in Endgame, actually, now that I think about it. Am I right about that, some jerkbag? Because I remember the second, well, obviously Sean Connery was in both of them, but, so I think he may be right about that.
I'll have to rewatch him. It's been a while.
So was Adrian Paul a true badass or what?
He was pretty badass. I was fairly intimidated the few times that I got to meet him, and he made a special appointment with us to come meet me and spend some time with me in person. I got my picture taken.
Cool.
And, yeah, it was pretty cool. I got it up in my hallway with a bunch of swords and.
Right on. Any cool stories from working on Sliders?
I remember one particular day we were on set, and our job that day, there was, I'll never forget it. We had a white vase, like a flower vase, And the scene was going to be this cop runs in, tells everybody to stop, fires his gun, and it hits the vase just as everybody is jumping through the portal to go to the next dimension there.
Right.
And we waited around all day for the director to say it was time for that shot. And we wired it all up and made sure everything was safe. We were there for like 20 hours that day. And finally, we took the shot. You know, it took 45 seconds to take that shot, blew up the vase. And I never did see that show on the air. And actually, about a month ago, I downloaded that episode of Sliders because I wanted to see that vase blow up, and they never used the shot.
Oh, wow.
So
Right.
all that work and all day hanging out on set, and they didn't even use the shot. I was totally bummed.
I would have been too. Waiting around for that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
But that was pretty cool. I got to hang out in the Hotel Vancouver in those crazy ballrooms and stuff all day, and that's not something everybody gets to see, so I was pretty lucky.
That's cool, dude. It sounds like you had a pretty cool, pretty kick-ass childhood, dude. Like running around
I
on
had a
film sets
great
and stuff.
childhood. I had tons of fun. We did lots of fun stuff for sure.
That's awesome, Beej. That's super cool, dude. I'm stoked about that, dude. Like I would have totally enjoyed like having that kind of exposure, you know, at that age. I still am, but you know, like back at that age, like I remember, like, you know, film and TV was a big, you know, a real big thing to me, and I always wanted to be involved in it as long before I actually did get involved with film and television. But I've always wanted to act and, you know, do all kinds of different things. So yeah, that's cool, man.
Oh.
That's kind of, you're kind of the envy, you know what I mean, of a lot of kids. You know, I'm sure getting to be on, you know, movie sets and TV sets like that. You know.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's probably more fun as an adult, so I kind of envy you in that way that you're doing it now. But it was pretty out of this world for a little kid to experience those things, and
Totally.
you know, a lot of the live shows that we did with fireworks and stuff like that, like watching fireworks from a few miles away is one thing. Standing underneath them and pressing the buttons, that's a whole nother deal.
That's cool as hell, dude. That's awesome, bro. Like, some jerkbag asks, did you meet Gimli,
Gimli.
the guy from Lord of the Rings who was on Sliders?
What character was he on Sliders?
I can't remember what character was on Sliders, but he was Gimli on Lord of the Rings. I remember he was on Sliders, but I can't remember what his character name was.
I don't know. I keep falling asleep every time I try to watch Lord of the Rings because it's like 3 hours long.
Right, yeah, they're good movies. You know, I'm not really into fantasy, but you know, they're good movies. I dig it. That's cool, dude. Like,
Well, the first like 40 minutes were awesome. I'd like to experience the rest of it someday, though.
right. So what was it? So what else did you work on? You mentioned something about Louis earlier.
I'm sorry, say that again. I said something about.
Did you say something about Louis, like Louis Anderson earlier?
No, I didn't say anything about that.
I must have misheard you when you were talking about that
Yep.
stuff.
Yep,
The song we did today is called Natural Order, and if you want to just you can actually rewind this now, or you can wait till it's over and just watch it in a little bit here, and then you'll see the song that was played today. And yeah, so
So my mom just chirped up in the comments there, and she said the air shows that we used to work on, that was something super cool too. My stepdad was involved in an air show, and he was the evil Black Michael.
Okay.
And he had a nemesis that would fly in a helicopter mounted with fireworks, and he'd shoot down at the ground. And then my stepdad, the evil Black Michael, would shoot back up at him with other fireworks and bombs and stuff. And we went out to the Nanaimo Air Force Base for a weekend to set up the show once. So we got VIP access on this Air Force Base to wire up the show. and set up all these fireworks and bombs and all this crazy stuff. And that was pretty awesome. We were hanging out. We were like having lunch one day. My mom and I and one of her girlfriends were sitting there, and all of a sudden this stealth bomber like low passes right over top of us. We didn't even hear it coming. All of a sudden there's this stealth bomber flying over top. It was that was a pretty cool weekend.
That's rad, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever been to something like that. That's super cool, dude. That must have been awesome being a part of stuff like that, you know?
It was pretty awesome, yeah, for sure. I definitely miss being a part of stuff like that.
That's rad, dude. That's super cool, man. So I got a little surprise for everybody today. So I'm gonna show you guys a little video, and it's gonna feature some of my music, and it's gonna just be like it's a couple minutes long. And what this video is, it's a promotional video for a book that a friend of mine wrote. It's called In Blackness, and it's a really good book. Actually, it's a trilogy, and the third one is actually being written now. I've read the first two. The book is called In Blackness, and somebody did a promotional video for it, and they used one of the songs that I had written. So this song that I wrote was called War Room, and here is the video that they did for the book In Blackness by my good friend and great author, Mr. U.L. Harper. I'll have him on the show very soon to talk about some of his books, some of his novels. So here we go. Okay. In Blackness. All right. That was the music was War Room, and that was for the book In Blackness. So that was really cool, actually. And like I said, the book is actually really good. Arnold's actually a really great writer. He's got a really unique writing style, kind of straight to the point. Likes to tell the story. You know what I mean? Which is cool. You know.
That was really cool, man. I enjoyed that. How did you go about composing that type of music? Like, it's
So
obviously all sorts of strange instruments and stuff.
Okay, it's very percussive by nature, the song itself. So right off the bat, I was thinking I want some sort of like war drums, taiko drum style, like that kind of like feel. You know what I mean? Like armies approaching war type thing. Almost like like envision might be something like out of the movie like 300 or something like along those lines. Excuse me. And so I started kind of writing it with that kind of in mind, and especially with the feel of something along the lines of 300, which is a little bit more of a modern look to things. So that's where the kind of the synths, and the that's where all that like kind of like started to kind of come in, was from more of that type of that vibe, from like kind of more of a modern, like in just like a modern, impactful like vibe, instead of like more of a traditional vibe, which would have been like strings, and lots of brass and like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like stuff like that. So I've written plenty of traditional orchestral music, um, but
You always surprise me when you bust out stuff like that. You're like, hey, check this out. Like,
I know,
really?
right.
A
Well,
few minutes ago we were rocking out. Now all of a sudden we're listening to one of your crazy compositions.
yeah.
I'm super impressed by that,
Thank
man.
you, brother. I appreciate you. And it's got this vibe too of like not only like the taiko war drums, but it also has this like strange kind of almost like a Middle Eastern type vibe, in some parts. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I really enjoyed making that, and doing the, kind of getting, like I said, just getting out of the traditional realm and the traditional, facet of doing the same type of, like the same type of, you know what I mean, like orchestral music, or otherwise, that
Yeah.
piece you heard isn't very, it's not like something you hear all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So, but yeah, man, like I said, it was really fun to do. And Arnold is a great author. It's just a fantastic author. And the book itself is actually really, really good. He actually wrote a killer book, killer trilogy. So if you guys are readers out there, check out In Blackness. Wonderful story, like excellently written. I'm gonna have Arnold on the show pretty soon, you guys. So, real quick, I wanted to let you guys all know that you know what? Let's check in with Daisy though. I mean, Miss Daisy, what'd you think about that last tune? She loved it. Okay, so so all right, you guys. Coming up on the listening room, you guys, we have Mr. Kyle Romero will be with us this week. Mr. Robbie Ravenwood will be back with us this week, and our musical guest this Friday will be Mr. Crumb. Super excited to have Mr. Crumb. He's an amazing musical genius. He plays all kinds of different amazing instruments. He plays the spoons, he plays the musical saw, he plays the ukulele, and that's on top of all the traditional instruments that he plays, guitar and piano and drums and bass and all the other stuff that's that most people do play. So can't wait to have Crumb in the studio on Friday. Maybe we'll be getting a live performance from him this Friday. The next Friday after that, we're going to be having Mr. Kevin Kablau in studio as well. Actually, we might have him remote. It depends. And he's going to be doing a live performance for you guys. And his music is extremely original and very awesome. And I can't wait to show you. I'm super excited to show you guys what I have also next Friday as well. So all my musical guests are incredible. I always love, showcasing some of the best talent that I know. So I'm looking forward to doing some more of that. Mr. BJ and I are working on another song together, and that'll be out very shortly here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Absolutely love every single one of you guys. You guys are awesome. And my name is Eddie Booze. This is the Listening Room. Today's song was Natural Order from Running Rogue. Go check it out. If you guys would like to take a listen, go ahead and email me and I'll shoot you the song, you guys. Have a wonderful day, you guys. See you guys tomorrow night at 6:30. Thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the Listening Room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.